What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Kevin Hart film, The Upside. The Upside is directed by Neil Burger, stars Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston, and Nicole Kidman. It tells the story of a down-on-his-luck man who is trying to support his family, and when he happens upon this job to be a life auxiliary for this very wealthy quadriplegic man, they don't seem like they're a match, but the quadriplegic man decides to give him a shot anyways and give him the job, and what ends up happening is they form a wonderful friendship and work very well together. The Upside is actually a remake of a French film that's very beloved, which I think is why this movie's catching more heat than it normally would, because it's kind of just a feel-good movie. Directing wise, it's pretty solid. It's nothing flashy, it's very standard. I don't agree with some of the edits, I think there's definitely some weird cuts, but overall, it's a pretty well-directed movie. But by far, the best thing about this film, just the same as the French film, is the performances. This movie is about people and what people need in life to survive and how they get by and what makes life worth living for them. So this movie isn't so much about, oh, it's so flashy, or oh, the story is so ingrained in this crazy societal shift that's been happening. It's literally just about how people feel and what they have in their lives that makes life worth living. And I think that Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart really get that across. I did enjoy Nicole Kidman in this film, but she has sort of a smaller supporting role. But Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston are two people from totally different sides of Hollywood, really. Like, Kevin Hart is a former stand-up comedian who's become one of the biggest box office comedic actors of all time. And then you have Bryan Cranston, who comes from like sitcom television, who in the latter half of his career has turned it into this extremely dramatic and well-acted career of just fantastic performances. And when the two of them came together, I didn't really know if their sort of different styles would mesh, but they actually have really wonderful chemistry on screen together, and it seems like they get along extremely well. And in a film like this that's literally like a buddy comedy, it's so important to have that good chemistry, because if it's not there, it's so clearly evident for the people watching the film. And I think the fact that it was there and it was so present really improved the quality of this film a lot. I also have to say I was rather impressed with Kevin Hart's dramatic acting abilities, because this movie does have a lot of drama in it, and I've never really seen him in any sort of role that was even somewhat serious, and I think he actually did a really solid job here, and I'd like to see him take on even more dramatic performances as his career progresses, which I'm sure he will, most comedians do. And then Bryan Cranston, of course, is just a fantastic actor, so he did a great job in the role that he had. But between the two of them, the movie is also very funny. It definitely has its dramatic moments, it has some pretty serious subject matter at times, but overall, it is a very entertaining, feel-good, funny movie, and that's what it's supposed to be about. They crack jokes on all kinds of different things. There's honestly some really, really good laughs in this movie that just put a nice smile on your face, because it's a movie about good people getting second chances at life and really succeeding and having fun doing it. And I think that that's sort of the message of this movie, is that you should never give up and you should always keep pushing forward, because you never know what could happen. My only issues with the film revolve around the structure of it. The writing itself obviously is a little bland or cliche at times, but I can look past that because of the sort of genre of a feel-good movie that it's in. But I think the fact that the storytelling feels rather clunky and choppy at times, there's a lot of really odd edits that just cut to black and then we just sort of move forward in time, but there's nothing that's telling us that we're moving forward. We just have to infer it. And then so many things change once the camera turns back on that it's like, kind of would have liked to have a little bit more of the in-between there to see how certain things ended up where they are now after that alleged time-passing black screen that we were at for a second. But I think that that wasn't that big of a problem with the film. It fit with the story it was telling. It was just kind of like, I wish they would have used the time progression a little better. My biggest issue with it is actually how the film begins, which I won't spoil, but I personally felt that the beginning of the movie was extremely unnecessary and actually sort of ruined the latter part of the film for me a little bit, because it takes a lot of the drama and seriousness out of the scenario when we know based on that first scene that certain things are going to transpire. I'm gonna give The Upside a C+. It's nothing that crazy, it's just a nice, funny movie that puts a smile on your face. I realize a C+ seems low, but I can't give it a higher grade than that because it's not much more of a movie than that. It's just there to make you feel good, watch a couple good performances, and honestly just kind of have a nice time at a movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, it never gets too depressing, and it keeps itself pretty funny throughout. So if you want a good movie to go see with your friends or your family, I would say this is a solid one to go catch. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of The Upside, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and hope to see you guys later.